we're digging deeper in these dashboard mini components of this workshop and building skills at each level. What did we do in this last deeper dive? We added a header, and then we added a selector in that header to allow us to select by tree health, okay? We also went to some of the map and table interactions so that as we select in the table, the map would change scale. It would pan over to our selected trees. And then this last piece, what we did was we sorted the table on tree at diameter breast height. And there was our third largest tree, or widest tree, I should say, in the lower right-hand corner there. Excellent. All right, let's dig a little bit deeper still. But again, these are fairly intuitive, these tools, and practice makes proficiency. So let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper in this next section. Here's what I'd like us to do in this next section. Dig a little deeper. We're going to configure the table so that we're going to remove the postcode and then add sidewalk damage. So a little bit more familiarity with the tables. And then we're going to go into the advanced formatting. Not too scary, but we're going to dip a few toes into the arcade scripting language so that we're going to be able to add a variable, store that variable, and then we're going to change the table so that when we select poor trees, it's going to be highlighted in a yellowish color, okay? The text color is going to be a different color as well, so that when you select something in the table, it's very clear that those are selected. For example, we want the poor trees in poor condition. That's what we have time and budget to address, and that's what we want to appear in our dashboard. So that is a little bit of a deeper dive. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get started. We're going into the table as promised. We're going to configure that table. Okay, we've got features in there. I don't want the postcode. I want to add a field that is going to be the health of the tree. And also sidewalk, if it's damaged or not. We've already got health, so let's add sidewalk. Damage or no damage. Done. Okay, good. I see the preview right there. That's great. These things give me instant gratification. In other words, I can see what I'm configuring before I say done. That's nice. Let's go ahead and configure and dig a little bit deeper. I'm going to go into values this time. Don't get scared by this, but this is the arcade that's running behind the scenes. We can pop that out so we can have more of a good user experience. I'm going to store the background color and a text color into a variable. If it's poor, I want it to be a certain color. I'm giving it a hex code, basically. Black being 000000, and the FFFF00 is yellow. So I've got those two variables stored, and now if I go under health, I'm going to be able to change the text color and the background colors that in those. Does that mean all I'm doing going in format? One of these arcade scripts and this language that's operating. If you can a little bit of capability, it gives you a lot of power. And so I go ahead and I can test this and make sure the syntax is correct. So now I've got this configured. I'm going to go and say the table one more time. That's all looking good. I've got the sidewalk. And notice here I've got, ooh, look at that. The poor are color. Yep. So I'm going to configure that, go into General, look at Table, Selection Color. I don't like the fact that when I'm clicking on it, it's blue. So now if I click on that and I give it a light green color, I like that a lot better. That is just looking really good now. It's really giving me some great functionality. Wonderful. Okay, that was great. We're going to resave our dashboard. Let's summarize what we did in that last segment. We removed the postcode. We added the sidewalk damage. Okay. We also then went into a little bit of arcade scripting. We stored a background color and a text color in a variable. We went down to where the health field is indicated. And we said, okay, where it's poor, it's going to be a certain color. We've also changed the selection color in that last segment. So some deeper dives, but again, nothing that you folks can't do. And I hope this is being helpful so far. All right, let's dig a little bit deeper now in this next segment. We're going to adjust the category selector. Remember how I was saying earlier that I wasn't really too happy with it being, as you can see in the upper right here, no selection, fair, good, poor. That to me is counterintuitive. The fair and the good should be transposed. So after what we want is no selection, poor, fair, good. I want it to be from not healthy to healthy. So how do we do that? We go to defined values. The default gave us grouped values, but if we go with defined values, we can actually order them in the right order that we want, okay? We're also going to test out that action, and also we're going to go to category selector, actions, indicator, target field health, so that the indicator changes as you select trees with different health. Ooh, nice. Also, we're going to note that you can name the elements, as I indicated earlier, if there's a coming attraction, and here it is, with a more meaningful name in your dashboard so that you can quickly find elements instead of having indicator 1, indicator 2, indicator 3, if you have 3 indicators, actually naming it appropriately. And also going to edit. How can you quickly edit your map if you don't like the symbology? Remember I was saying you've got to go into the editor? How can you do that while you're inside the dashboard? So that's what we're going to do in this next segment. Let's get started. All right, folks, let's get rolling. We're going to change it from grouped values to defined values in our category selector. This is so that we can have more intuitive order of our selector. All I have to do is say add values, and now I'm going to change the display name and the value name to poor, fair, good, because exactly that's the order I want. I'm going to change the value to the exact same thing, poor, fair, and good. All right, and notice that you get instant feedback in the upper right saying what you've got there so far. Okay, so we went from grouped values to defined values. Our selector, no selection, still is there. That's good. I like that. Actions, what do we want for actions? Ooh, I want to have tree feature layer and the target field be health. And what do I want to change? We'll dig into this a bit more later. Or let's go ahead and test this out. Now I've got the here. I like that a lot better. That's a lot more intuitive. Now I've just got, yeah, okay. Remember I changed the selection color in that last segment with you all? So we're going to be able to, yes. But what if I want to change the indicator so it reflects only the selected set? Okay. Notice on the middle right now, if I say poor, fair, good, I'm getting the amount of trees that are poor, fair, and good condition. I like that, rather than the total. Okay. So that was configuring the indicator. Okay. As promised, hey, what if I want to edit the map? If I go up to the triple bars on the left side, the upper left of my dashboard, look, app mode. So I don't have to save and go to my map contents in my ArcGIS Online organization. I can go right here and start changing the symbology and the classification method. That's extremely, extremely helpful to be able to do that. So notice it's just in the upper left there. Nice to be able to do that. And the other thing that I promised that I would mention is that, let's go ahead and save this. You can also rename your indicators, indicator 1, indicator 2, and name those appropriately. Let's summarize. We changed the category selector from grouped values to defined values so that we can get a better order. You see the before and after there. We also changed the actions so that the indicator on the right side of our dashboard would be reflective of how many we've selected, how many trees we have selected, instead of giving us just the total number of